Come on in, come on back. Welcome back to the Vibe, the Afterthought Podcast. I'm your man, Joe Hill, and I got my amazing co-hosts, producers of the show, Mr. JP Campbell and Mrs. Tiff Tonto. What's going on, everybody?
What's going on,
y'all?
What's up, y'all? How you doing?
You know how we do. We back. We on Facebook with it. We on Live It with it. You know, we up to episode. It's a Tuesday, so I know people like, dang,
switch it up on them a little bit. Switch it up on them a
little bit. It's a Tuesday, no tacos. Actually, we had tacos today. So
you did? Okay.
Yeah, Layla wanted tacos, so we got it.
I think people definitely were like, they're used to seeing us on a Wednesday night, but without being too Hollywood, I'll be leaving to Kansas City in the morning to do some shows in the great city of Kansas City, Missouri. I'll be doing some shows, and we're gonna get to that. So I said, why not? Let's get on here early. We got two amazing guests coming on tonight. Miss Kiara Whittle. She's a chemist, a Black chemist at that. She's an activist. She's a dope. She's an entrepreneur. That's like you said, Tiff.
Yeah.
Black female, Black queen, cooking up, not the illegal stuff.
Indeed.
She's cooking up the good stuff. You know what I'm saying? And
yes,
she's gonna be on here and she's gonna talk to us about some COVID stuff. And I know she deals and she's in the industry of that and medicine and the pharmaceutical business and things of that nature. And then we got our guy, Emerson Stuyvesant, Alabama native, my UGK brother, coming on later. And we're going to talk about the road. We're going to talk about comedy, family, and more with him later. But before we do that, how are y'all doing? And of course, we got to start with ladies first. Tiff, how you feeling? How you living?
I'm doing well. Today is my second day working from home. So that's a little different.
Nice.
So, I'm enjoying it, just trying to get acclimated. It feels like I moved to another apartment or something because everything is just all over the place. Mm-hmm. But it's cool. I'm liking it. I sold 7 shirts today while at home. Look at that. All right. So
Lock that shit up.
The She line is doing well. People are loving it. And
talk about the line while you're there. Talk about that line real quick.
The She line, she is all about healing. Women, as people, we need to heal. But right now, this is dedicated to my women. Mm-hmm. It's She, SHE. SHE, right? Can't spell. And it's an acronym for Sis Healing Every Day. So it's a movement right now. I think that all of us need healing, especially now during COVID. Anybody that's dealing with mental health, terminal illness, depression, whatever it is that you're dealing with, trauma bonds, soul ties, whatever it is, we need to heal and we need a sisterhood. And it happens every day. It's not, you don't have to worry about healing today, right now. It's an everyday thing for the rest of your life because it's a journey. So, and I have some promotional things going on for the month of February. So that will be, we'll talk about that later.
I just tagged you in there too. Make sure y'all get a She merchandise in the Facebook chat. Y'all could catch her, go to her page, inbox her, and support. Jay, how you doing? What's good?
Feeling good. Feeling great, man. Everything's coming along well. Work is good. Family's good. It's been a rough few days, but then a lot of good friends been celebrating birthdays.
That's right.
More life to everybody. A lot of big Sagittarius energy out there. So salute to all my Sagittarius real quick.
Big Sagittarius.
A lot of family and friends. It's too many to shout everyone out, but it's been really good. Because for everybody who's been, like what Tiff was saying, been dealing with so much, going through so much. The fact that I'm still able to see a lot of people who I love out here celebrating life, taking it another year. Mm-hmm. Don't worry, 2021, if everything works out, we'll be back outside celebrating and being great. So
I feel you.
Just thankful for all of that, man.
I feel you, man. This has been a rough year. We lost a lot of people. I was just talking about it at my show in Brooklyn with Eva. When the Reaper calls.
Hi, Eva.
I love it. Hi, Eva.
No, I was saying when the Reaper calls, it ain't it's time to go. You gotta enjoy life. Life is too short. Because when that Reaper calls, ain't no sending him the voicemail. Ain't no do I got time to get a jacket and do I got time to put shoes on. There's no sending him the voicemail. step into the light, nigga. Step into the light. Let's go. Come with
Ain't
me.
no grabbing your cell phone.
That's it. Ain't no rescheduling. I got a party I'm hosting next week. Nah, get that shit the fuck out. Let's go. You gotta go. So you gotta make sure your time is spent while you're here. So I feel that. Shout out to everybody on the Livid, my Livid family. Make sure you download the app. That's what I'm streaming on. That's where this podcast is streaming on. You can catch me 5 days a week on there. Shout out to Anchor FM for giving us the platform. Afterthought Podcast. Tiff, one of the things you definitely mentioned, and I think the people want it too, is some new segments. And I think we're gonna be rolling those out in the new year. But I'm gonna let you intro and give them a little teaser tonight of your new segment coming into 2020. Take it away, sis.
All right, this is my new
21.
segment.
2021, my bad. 2021.
2021. This is my new segment that I'm introducing to the podcast, okay? It's always some bullshit, and I always smell and call bullshit. So the segment is called Ain't This Some Bullshit?
Yes.
So whatever it is, we're going to talk about it, and I want to talk about Meek Mill, all right?
Right.
Him rolling up on these kids in Atlanta, and they were selling some water, and I guess he posted it as a charitable, work on his IG. And he gave the children, young boys in Atlanta, $20 and told them to split it between the 7 of them. We split it 7 ways. So I want to know, ain't that some bullshit? Like, is that some bullshit? Is he trolling? Is it a troll thing? Is he teaching them a life lesson? Or is he just being an asshole? Because that's like unlike Meek, especially with everything that he represents with prison reform. And I just found that to be very degrading, And
right.
I feel like that could have also went really, really left in Atlanta. You know what I mean? Pulling up and just humiliating people like that, and to videotape it. And how do we feel about people videotaping charity work?
Charity acts. I was gonna say. I'll let you go first, Jay. What you think?
Yeah. So I'll start with the videotaping of charity. I'm not big on it. I think it's important to highlight it. Like I'm big on making sure we help promote various causes.
Facts.
So pushing flyers, maybe a couple of notifications, posts, all of these things, because I think it's important for people to know what's going on so that they can try to potentially help. But every time I go around doing something, or if I have some change, or I have $1 to give to someone when I'm at work and I'm passing someone who's homeless, and then I'll be like, let me get this for Snapchat.
Right.
Like, what am I really doing it for? Like,
what is your true intention?
Yeah, if I got it, it ain't about all of that. It's for me to really give to you. It's like, as a coach, for example, like, the amount, and Joe tell you too, the amount of like recommendation letters I write, the amount of calls and interactions for referrals and all of these things, you ain't going to see me out here taking a picture of the letter and be like, let me put that on the gram so they know he really does. Like, no, like I'm doing this because I'm trying to help make sure that one of my kids are now being able to do something with their lives.
Facts.
To project them into a positive direction, to help them get the job that they may need, or to help them go get into the National Honor Society, or to help them with that college admissions. Like, come on, man. We're not out here doing like, you in the wrong business if you out here doing it just for the attention. So I'm not really a big fan of that. I just think if you're gonna do the right thing, just do the right thing. Word to my man Spike. But
right.
But here's my thing about Meek giving $20 to split with 7 people. One thing we may or may not know, whether I don't care how much money he may or may not have spent, like, he's human too. Just because we know what his net worth is, don't mean we know how much cash he had on him, literally.
That's a fact. Like,
that could have really been his last 20 or 20 he took from his mans, because he don't even walk with cash. Because people be like, don't walk with cash. That should have never gave anything.
That's good. You know what I mean? You can't argue about anybody giving you any amount of money because they're giving you something. But it's what he said behind it. Here, go split that between split it 7 ways. Now, was that I what he said is demeaning? You know?
Yeah. Now, I got a question because I don't like. It's like we know, but we don't know.
Go ahead.
Like, was he with? What was the? I guess for a group of kids, if they were all out there selling waters together or selling candy, whatever they was doing together, is it something where it's like, you know, why? Like, do I only want to give, if this is my last 20, do I only give it to one person, or do I try to make sure that all of them, you know, could potentially be like, yo, we're gonna go to Domino's on Meek Mill and eat.
Right.
Because you could take that 20 and be like, yo, we're gonna get a couple of these 555 or these larges and some sodas, and we all gonna be able to eat and chill together.
I feel that.
I'm just throwing it out there.
I think there's a way of doing that. I mean, he could have easily gave them the $20 and really meant like, okay, well, this is, y'all gonna have to figure it out. But I think there's a way of doing that and say, listen, you know, I don't have any cash on me. You know what I mean? I don't have it. This is all I have. This is for y'all. Do what y'all need to do with it. And he could have did other things and asked them, do anybody, you know, what are y'all into? Are y'all starting businesses? Something that would leave them with something to empower them and not make them feel degraded. You know what I mean?
I agree, Tiff.
I would have rather, to your point, Tiff, I agree with that. I would have much rather, even if he didn't give them money, have a discussion with them.
Yeah.
Like, I would have rather him, if he saw them hustling, take the time out to then say, yo, let me add you on the gram. What are you guys doing real quick? Like, what kind of business are you guys really doing? Is this your only hustle, just selling waters? Y'all sell candy? Do y'all sell other things? And really,
he could have gave them $1 million worth of game for $20.
Exactly. Right? He could have given them all that game instead of even giving them the cash. And instead of just, I know it's COVID, so you got to be careful. But I would have much rather him, instead of taking a picture of him recording it, giving it to the kids, try to tell the kids, you know, stay a little social distance, but let me catch this selfie. And then I'll post it. And so, no, you understand? So like,
right.
You can do things that can help give them even more. So even if he don't give them $20, if he take a picture and say, salute to my young hustlers over here on whatever Peachtree, because you know in Atlanta every street is Peachtree. And come see them and make sure you go get a water. He put that on his Instagram, or he put that on his Facebook. Them kids getting way more than $20 because people gonna come through and just show them kids some love.
Facts.
On the humble that Meek posted it and said, these are my guys.
I think he just set a tone I think he just set a tone for anybody to be disrespectful and disregarding of what they're doing. I think that's you know, that's how it looked. Yeah. We don't know the whole interaction and how the whole interaction went down. You only have the video that was posted, but I think it could have, you know, it could have been more empowering than what we saw. That's just my opinion.
Ain't that some bullshit?
Ain't that some bullshit?
But I will say this to the notion of giving away charitable, and I'm not a big fan of it, but I think sometimes it happens organically. But I think if you're doing it naturally, it's, you know, and it's not in a way where you, like you say, you're trying to get some type of press off of it. But I don't know. I feel I sometimes when I'm out in the street and I see, you know, homeless, you know, folks, you know, asking for money, sometimes I just want to just be like, I'm gonna be honest, nigga, can you give me $1, nigga? Like, can you like like, I'm still working out here. I'm not rich. I'm not like, I need money too. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't see me out here begging. Yeah, we all struggling, man. We all struggling. And the worst is when they try to make you feel bad. You know, they try to tell you a long story and you're like, come on, not right now. Come on. You know, I'd rather you talk to me about something that ain't got nothing to do with the money. And at the end, you'd be like, let me hold $5 real quick. Let me hold. And I'll be like, all right, You got me. I listened to the
You
goddamn
want
story.
the Uncle Tony treatment.
Right. you don't sit up here and fucking talk to me all for 20 minutes. Then damn it, here, take this $5.
Yeah, take the goddamn money. Shit.
We still got time. We still got time for another one, but I wanted to bring that other one that we were gonna do later about getting flown out.
Oh yeah.
There was a tweet that we saw. I'm not sure who posted it, but I know Tiff sent it in the group chat. Our producer group chat, and it was like, I don't want to quote it, but wasn't it something down the lines of, if you fly me out, no, if you're flying me out, we fucking.
I'm fucking.
Like, I'm fucking.
Yeah.
So as us, as men and talking to Tiff, we were going back and forth and just talking about our opinions for it. And I want to ask y'all as an afterthought, which we'll bring back later, because we're gonna ask Kiara about this from a female's perspective.
Yeah.
And we're gonna ask Emerson later on at the end of the show. We want to ask y'all. So the nature of being flown out, y'all better be fucking. I mean, let's start there. I mean, that is a culture. That is in the culture. It's not just like and something that I want to make clear. It's not everybody that gets flown out is fucking. That's just the name. That's just the nature of the generalization.
That's the flex.
That's the flex. Thank you, Tiff. Thank you for the save. I was drowning, but I'm back.
That is the
you gotta watch your words. You gotta watch your words.
You gotta watch.
In my opinion, from my experience, and let me watch my words carefully. When I say my experience, I say in my history of dealings with these and having these relations in the past and what have you, there is like some sort of, whether it's superstars, athletes, and things of that nature. It's like, if I'm flying you out, there's like an understanding. It's not. I'm not just flying you out to come make my bed in the hotel. Like, that's not the conversation we having. I'm just saying, come dust my clock and fix my shoes. I don't need all that. I'm saying in that culture, in that nature of things, it's like there are women that it's expected. So, I mean, how y'all feel about that whole flown out shit? I'm gonna go to Jay first because he's itching right now. I know Jay itching, and then I'm gonna come back to you, Tiff.
Look, we grown. I'm gonna be very clear. You pay how you weigh. Before you even think about flying someone out, y'all better be making sure y'all are on these type of terms. Like, do not play yourself and just think, because I spent money and I spent the money on a plane ticket, or I spent money on the hotel, that it's a guaranteed go time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't do it. Don't do it, fellas. It's a JP pro tip. Make sure y'all know. Make
That's
sure y'all know the type of time.
JP
pro tip.
I like.
Make sure y'all know the type of time you're on before you invest. Because look, more likely than not, you ain't flying them out on no Spirit. They not getting on no Frontier.
Oh man, JP's pro tip. You heard it first. Look out for that segment. We got Kiara, and Kiara's in the lobby. She's in the building. The queen is here.
Yes.
We're gonna give her intro in a second, and we're gonna get her in here.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody on the Facebook Live, Afterthought Podcast, on Livid. We live with it. Anchor FM, we live. Make sure y'all follow us on social media at the Afterthought Podcast. We got some amazing things coming in 2021, as you can see.
Yeah.
Some dope segments. Just ways to make it more interactive. We're gonna have a new look in 2020. Remember, I said 2021. Remember, I said that's gonna look a little better when you see us in January. So
it's not gonna look like COVID either.
It's not.
No.
Tired of that shit.
So I want to bring this sister in right, and I want to do it while she's here. But we're gonna give her the pre-intro and get her in there. Then we're gonna give her flowers, and we're gonna read to y'all who she is real quick before we let her talk and all that. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring this queen in right. Representing for all the queens, the smart, business-minded queens out here. She's a friend of the podcast. Her name is Miss Kiara Whittle, and she is a chemist. Make some noise for her. Come on, y'all. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. He like, let me get ready.
And my friend, depending on the day of the week.
She's coming in. Can you hear us?
Hello.
Hey, guys.
What's up, Kiki?
Hi.
Hey, what up?
It's cool. You're in a safe space. You're among family right here. You're good.
Okay.
I just want to say thank you for coming on the podcast and, just connecting with us so we can hear more about what you do. But before I do that, let me read this to you. First of all, she's a Brooklyn native. Give us some fire right now in the chat. That's right. Brooklyn native, graduate of Clark Atlanta University. I love Atlanta, by the way. She has a degree in chemistry, and she's currently pursuing.
I have to stop. You have to say the illustrious Clark Atlanta.
Oh, you're right. Hold on. Let me start over. Yeah. The illustrious.
Thank you.
Clark Atlanta. You saw. I like how she said that.
Yeah, they gonna get you right, Joe. They gonna get you right.
I appreciate it. She's a Black female chemist in here studying biomedical sciences. She's a part of the HBCU, and you already know I love me some Black. You already know I love some Black education. You already know that. And she's a part of a dope podcast, and we're gonna talk more about that called Cognac.
Yes, we are.
And she's just dope. So, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise one more time. Afterthought Podcast for Miss Kiara Whittle. Y'all show us some love. How are you, Queen? Tell us how are you? How you living first? How's the family?
Oh my, I am tired, but I'm well, and my family's fine.
So. Everything's good. Thanksgiving was all right. Everything's good.
Thanksgiving was different, but you know what? I'm just excited that my family was all well enough to eat.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yes.
Well, tell us what you do. Let's jump right into it. Tell us what you do, how you got into chemistry and all that stuff, and just the folks watching at home, introduce yourself, let them know.
Well, I've been into science since the tornado and the bottle experiment in like first grade.
Oh, okay.
My parents noticed something, so my grandparents bought me a chemistry set when I was like maybe 8-ish. And I was over here building like shrimp eggs, and I was doing a whole bunch of stuff. I'm probably yeah. And then I got to high school. Shout out to Mara one time. And so it's really because of my mom. She went to the new parents' breakfast, and she was upset because she didn't feel like I was challenged enough, especially in like science and math classes. Mm-hmm. So she goes up to the principal and she's like, my daughter's not being challenged enough. This is too easy for her. This, that, and the third. And I'm just like, oh boy. And so she ends up putting me into this research science program, because if everyone here is from New York, you have to put your 10 high schools and select them and you put the program in.
Yeah. So
I went into high school under liberal arts and ended up getting transferred into this research science program. And I had this really dope high school teacher teacher, and it was just history. So it was either going to be biology or chemistry. And biology is just a tad bit boring. I was like, all right, I'm going to do chemistry, and ended up getting like 90 something on the region. So I was like, all right, sure, we'll go with that. Mm-hmm. And here we are. So
Here you are.
Yeah. So, and then when I got to CAU and I stepped foot on the campus and walked into the chem department, I was like, oh yeah, this is it. And then
JP was like, we got to have her on. We always talk about health and wellness, and we were talking JP. This is a segue for you, but go ahead, take it away, Jay.
So I'm with all transparency. Key is a friend of mine. Depending on what day of the week, I'm gonna give her. She gonna give me some grief.
Hey, we friends today. It's Tuesday. We friends today.
But it's Tuesday, so we friends today. We
Let's
good.
do something crazy on this podcast, but we'll find out.
Right?
Yeah, we good today. I wanted to make sure that we had you on, Key, because last week we were talking a bit about, and Tiff brought it up, about some things about like the whole with the COVID vaccine now starting to be a bit more prevalent, and wondering what we think about it and addressing some concerns or, the talk and the different memes that we see. I'm not taking no vaccine. We're not doing this, or who knows what's going on. And I said, wait, I know who the person is that I need to make sure I have to ask to explain some things, because not only do I want to shine a light on our platform for a beautiful Black chemist, but we need to see and have visual representation of the fact that there are people who look like us, who are walking and talking in the same places and spaces as we are, who are actively involved with what's going on, not just on what we may hear about from, oh, a politician's going to tell you this, or, oh, this person is going to tell you that, or CNN's going to tell you this. And with the news, with politicians, people do what they do because they have a special interest or they're pandering to a certain audience or group. I said, I just want straight talk, no chaser.
Let's do it.
And I was like, I know the right person. So with that being said, Key, I guess my first question really is as we're dealing with everything in this pandemic right now, and I guess we've been talking about like the vaccine, are there any things that you can say specifically that are now going to be presented to us? What may help calm some fears? What may be some commonly asked questions or misconceptions that you hear that you may want to clear up?
Well, let me put this disclaimer out now. I am not a doctor.
Just like I let that nigga know.
I just understand the science behind certain things, and I'm learning more about it as I do work with it also. So there's that. Something I probably should clear it right off the bat is that nobody's going to turn into a zombie. I had a friend earlier today text me about she was scared that we were going to turn into zombie land or whatever. That's not going to happen. Something else I should tell you guys is I think a lot of people don't know this, but the person spearheading the creation of the vaccine is a Black woman. Her name is Dr. Kismika Corbett. She is the viral immunologist that is in charge of the coronavirus team at the, wait, I had to write it down because it was a long title. At the Vaccine Research Center at the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, National Institutes of Health.
That's what Fauci's at.
Yeah. So the head of the coronavirus team is a Black woman. And once I read about that, I was like, oh, okay. So her team is responsible for part of the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines that are being emergency rushed to be approved here. So that's one big important fact that I felt that was super important.
So, I mean, my question would be, and a lot of people, should we take it?
Why should you not? Do you not take drugs that people give to you and you don't know what's in it? Like weed? Some people sniff coke.
I was trying to hit the blunt. Why? How you get out my head, Kiki?
I'm just saying, you can buy your weed from your weed man and not know what he put in it, because a good portion of the time it's not the weed you think it is, but that's another story for another day. But you can't take a vaccine that'll lead to immunity.
See Tiff looking over there. Tiff, I know you had a question about the vaccine.
No,
come on, Tiff. Come on, Queen.
Come on, Tiff. Come on, Tiff.
I'm totally against vaccines. I don't take medication. I don't take drugs either. So, why should we take it?
Why would you not though? I mean, okay, why are you against vaccines? That's what I want to know.
Because of, everything that's in the vaccines. Like you hear that they say that there's baby fetuses in the vaccines, all types of different things. And, people have gotten sick, the history, the history of what they've done to our people with vaccinating us. And that if something does go wrong, you can't even sue. You can't take them to court or anything.
So
go ahead, Key. What you think, Key?
What you think to that?
So one of my main missions is to rebuild the bridge between our people and any medical and scientific field. Now, I know a lot of trust has been broken, and I know that we probably need to have a better method of going through this to get it to come back together. But there are people that look like us that are part of these trials. I actually know a few people that are part of the trials right now, and they're completely fine. And you are entitled to not believe in vaccinations. However, how did you go to school? You don't.
Well, years ago.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
Yeah, before, like, of course I had vaccines before, as a child, but I don't get them anymore. I don't take any flu shots. My daughter doesn't get any vaccines. I mean, just recently when they mandated this vaccine, I forget the name of it. I don't know. I can't remember. What was it?
Was it the measles one?
I think so, like last year or 2 years ago.
Because of the huge outbreak we had, right?
Yeah. I mean, I cried in the doctor's office because, for a while she wasn't getting any vaccines, and we're pretty healthy. You know what I mean? We don't have any issues. I don't get sick during the winter. I may catch a common cold like everybody else. It lasts a couple of days and I'm fine. So I'm like, if it's not broken, why fix it? And I do have a question about, okay, so, with the vaccine, they're putting a live virus into your body, right?
No.
No? Okay, so can you explain that to us?
Most vaccines were created with the live virus or like a dead copy of the live virus. So if you healed from it, they have whatever specimen, whatever they have. The COVID vaccine introduces mRNA technology, which is messenger RNA. So basically, they are using this technology to spike cells in your body. So the reason it's called COVID is because of the spike shape that it has. So this messenger RNA for this vaccine is coming to attack these spike cells to train your body to know when the infection is coming to get you. So that way your T cells and your B cells can send out the alert to whatever's going on in your body to be like, listen, this shouldn't be here. We got to get rid of it. That's it. There's no dead virus getting put back into you at all. Like, there's none.
Okay.
So the reason that this was able to happen is because let me get the wording right. Basically, scientists had a copy of the genetic code of what was going on with COVID. Now, I will say that there's different types of coronaviruses, which is why this one should just be called COVID. And really, to my understanding, the creation of a coronavirus vaccine has started way back when the MERS and the SARS outbreak started. But because no one was interested in these things and they thought that, oh, this wasn't a big threat, nobody thought it was good enough to give funding to such things to find out vaccines for what could have potentially halted this from spreading, period.
Right.
Now we're here because nobody wants to trust science. What can I say? I fight these things.
Question. Another question, because I want to also highlight, I know we talked a lot of pandemic talk. I also want to highlight some other work that you do in other fields as far as other. No. I want to talk about this because I think this is serious and this is important. Like, Key also does work for like cancer research, like other illnesses and sicknesses. And I want you to like expound upon like some findings or what it is that you enjoy doing as far as some more positive things or things that we can look forward to based on your research to potentially give us hope for.
Yeah, talk about some of that advocacy. Talk about the advocate work you've been doing. Damn sure got to do it.
With IHC, which is immunohistochemistry, and what my focus is HPV and cancer detection. So I am part of the production for testing kits that test for early detection of cancer, specifically colon cancer, throat cancer, bladder cancer, stuff like that. So that's what I do. And HPV also, which leads to a whole bunch of other things in life. But yeah.
Okay. I have a question.
I hope.
I would like to know from your perspective. And I know you said that you're not a medical provider, you're a chemist, right? You're on the science part of things. I would like to know why isn't nutrition at the forefront of, anything that's out there, like any medical illness or anything like that? Why don't they push nutrition as much as they push drugs?
That's a good question. Well, I will say any interaction I've had with a doctor for any type of medical reason, one of the main points they do say is change your diet type of thing.
Yeah.
Now, they might not give you what your diet should be, but they will tell you that you have to change your diet.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I mean, it's a hard thing. Pharma wants money from people. People don't trust pharma, but of course they're going to push a drug on you because the money is what's making everything go round.
Mm-hmm.
I do wish that medicine and science wasn't in such a tango with money, because it makes it hard for people like me to be like, you know what, this is for good for you, that you should do this, you should do that. And people are looking at me like, but y'all just want my money. And me personally, my mission is to help people, not to take from them. Like, one of my goals is to end up in some high position so I can make medicine and healthcare more accessible to people that look like me. Because I don't feel like you have to pay out the ass to have your child. You should be able to have your child and stay healthy after you have your child.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel
enduring.
Yes, enduring too, because we know. I don't feel like you should have to pay a lot for cancer treatments, chemotherapy.
I agree.
Health related. I don't think that you should have to pay a lot, or pay more for that matter, because there's instances where we end up paying more than we should. So,
because I work in the healthcare field, and insurances do not cover nutrition counseling at all. They do not. They will give you 1,000 narcotics before they give you, a dietitian to tell you what you need to properly ingest so that your body can heal itself, naturally. So that's why it makes it so hard for me to trust. And then when, they do put out a new drug, they say this will help you with this, but then it's like 425 side effects. So it's just like, what is the point? So you're gonna subside or help one condition while potentially creating 500 other issues, depending on how my body reacts. So it's just like, you know what? Let me go find me some ginger and and pray.
Hey, listen, ginger is the key. And I'm going to say part of this should be on the person themselves too, because you have to advocate for yourself. So if you know that you need this, then you need to tell your doctor, I need this. That's it. And if the doctor really isn't listening to you, you can report that person, and then you can go about your research and find your own means of getting it. So I put that partially on the person also.
I want to add to that point really quickly, because I'm glad you said that, Key, because I was recently diagnosed with having slight hypertension, high blood pressure. It's been something genetic that's on both sides of my family.
I think all black people are got a little hypertension in their family, just a little bit.
When it first happened, but when it first happened, you're right. But when it first happened, I was dealing with some transitional stuff at work. My grandmother had just been sick for a little bit. I thought it was a lot of like outside factors that may have been contributing to it, because I don't eat with a lot of salt. I'm not out here consuming crazy things. I'm like, maybe it is just genetic, because this is something that's happened on both sides of my family. And when I first got a prescription, the doctor tried to give me 10 milligrams of a medicine. And my pressure was not like through the roof. It was slightly high. And I'm like, with all of these factors, and when I get my stuff together, do I really need to be taking 10 milligrams a day of this stuff? My mother, who has it, I told her, same with my grandmother. So my mother and my grandmother both said, you're in better shape than both of us. I think you should only do half. Yeah. We're only doing 5. They're not just, and out the gate, he was just like, I'm just going to give you this. Yeah. They said, no, do 5. Take that medicine. They have the little pill cutter. They cut them, like, keep doing it. And then when you go for your follow-up, go for your 6 months to check, follow up. I told my doctor what he originally told me. What they did, my pressure was great. I had lost a few pounds. My pressure was great. And I said, I'm not taking 10. I want to only, he said, you know, and my doctor even said, sometimes your mother, your family, your body knows even better than the doctor. So you have to speak up and speak out.
That's an
and if
honest
you're not
doctor.
comfortable, and I
Let me
appreciate
say
my
this.
doctor
Yep.
saying,
Mm-hmm.
and I appreciate my doctor telling me that. Because see, that means to me when he could sit here and say, my bad, and I see that this is working, and to stop this, and that he trusts me, and that he said, I'm glad you're speaking up and out, that helped make me feel more comfortable. Because not only did I advocate for myself, but my doctor reinforced the fact that he was okay with me doing that.
Yeah.
So make sure you find a physician.
And let me say this. Let me say this too.
Okay
and I want to harp on this, and I'm gonna bring it back to Kiki. I work in school systems. I've been doing it for almost 20 years. One thing we're not advocating enough, and I think we are our own enemy. We need to stop buying soda. We need to stop buying juice. We need to stop buying processed boxed food. We need to be making things fresh. We need to be like when you really look at the stuff that we put in our body, a lot of the stuff and the ailments that come from what we're putting in. And I'm not in the best shape, but I try my best in the last 5 or 6 years to try to cut out. Like, to be honest, you come to my house, the only time there's something soda is for a chaser, for some alcohol. There's not normally, it's water in me. So I just think, like Gaster said, shout out to Gaster, a dope comedian and writer. And he's just saying on there too, it starts with the schools pushing the agenda and eating healthy and us starting when they're younger. So I just want to harp on that too, on the devil's advocate. I think it starts with us as our community, just not even buying some of that shit, educating ourselves and on things that's better choices. So with that being said, I know it's the COVID and everything going down. What's some ways that folks can ensure, because Kiki, it's gonna be like this for a while. I don't think it's gonna be over. I don't think
it'll be like this for a while.
What do you think that people can take away from knowing that what can normal people do to ensure that they're doing all they can to ensure their safety and not, coming in contact with the COVID and things like that?
Wear your mask, first of all.
Say it again.
Wear your mask. Some of y'all out here wilding. I'll be like, wow, what's going on? And stop willingly going places when you know you don't feel good, even if it's not COVID. Mm-hmm. Stop willingly going places. Like, I was in a store the other day, and the only reason I knew something was wrong with the woman in front of me is because she was on FaceTime and she was super loud. And she was talking about how she had this fever and she tested positive. And I was just like, is nobody else hearing this? Like, okay? So I just pulled my mask up because, you don't want to cause a scene, because when you cause a scene, it makes people act like they panic. So I'm just like, yeah, cool. Let her do her thing. She checked out. I said a little prayer, said, Jesus, Lord, bless her. Amen. I walk up to I'm looking at the cashier and he's looking at me. So he's like, you ready? And I was like, I know you just heard her conversation. I'm not going to go stand behind her. And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, she just said she had a fever. She tested positive for COVID. And now you're trying to breathe the same air as her. Like, I was like, I can go to the other side of the cash register, but I'm not going there. And he's like, oh, you're right. So things like, stop willingly going places and you don't feel good. Eat properly. I know it's hard because some people are stuck inside. And you got that junk food. You probably Instacarted mad snacks.
Oh yeah.
Want to sit on your couch and eat it. If you that,
everybody got quiet when she said the snack part.
Yeah,
I heard Facebook get quiet. Everybody said, "Damn."
That little guilt, like, oh damn.
Yeah.
You probably done just need you some alcohol, so now you got mad alcohol and wine just sitting there looking at you. And if you're gonna do it, by all means, indulge, but be active also. You can walk.
Yep.
You can go out.
Activity.
It's cold now, but before you could go outside and walk around the block.
Activity.
You could walk up and down. Just do something to be active so that you're not sitting like a couch potato.
Yes.
Now.
I want to say that I think that's a perfect segue. Since you listen in the house and you need something to listen to, this is a perfect segue before we wrap up her segment and follow her more. I want to know more about this. So Jay, come on through, Jay. Go ahead, Jay. You can throw the album.
Right. You see, we good teammates here, and I'm a finesse it real quick.
Go ahead.
That's I'll take you with two hands. Ha! Now, Key, we're gonna get to talk our talk now because we were able to be very serious. We're gonna keep it very light. Key is the better half, in my opinion, of the hosting team of one of my other favorite podcasts that you should want to check out. Cognac
I just
and
subscribed. Actually,
Shout out to them. Me too.
Yes.
Thank you.
Shout out to Marty. Shout out to Key. They had me on, and we had a fun experience. We was talking all types of talk. You see, I wore my Remy made me do it. See, I had to wear cognac just for Key.
I appreciate you.
You see now.
He had to intro it like that, right?
Because they my peoples. They my peoples, and I want her to be friends with me like 5 days out the week now instead of 2. So
I'm crying. Okay.
But we were just having this discussion.
Oh boy.
And we want to ask you this.
Uh-oh. You real passionate because you.
Oh,
you want to throw the alley back to me?
Yeah, Joe.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect. One of the dopest segments coming in 2021. Our sister Tiff is called "Ain't That Some Bullshit."
Yes.
And one of the things that we were talking about as producers is there's a culture in the industry, music, comedy, and other facets, where if you get flown out, if you're a female, there's some understanding that something is happening. Now, this one girl in particular, she tweeted, "If you flying me out, I'm fucking." Like down the lines of that. I don't want to quote her, Tiff, but it was down the lines of that. So we were just having a conversation.
That's what she said, Joe. That's what she said.
That's what she said. You can call her because that's what she said. So G, just from understanding the culture, is that a thing? And what are your views on that from a woman's perspective? That's all.
Oh, wow.
You got to take a deep breath.
We always got to have something fun.
Yeah, it don't got to be personal. It's just about your views on that culture, that mindset of that.
Yeah.
What number boyfriend is this that's flying me out? I don't know. Which one? How high in the ranking is it? Well, first of all, nobody has to do anything they don't want to do. So even if you
yes
her out, she is entitled to tell you no anytime during that trip. And whether you take it like a man or like a bitch, that's up to you.
Yeah.
Point period. And she's entitled to feel like if you fly her out, she fucking. I hope she like you enough. I guess so. Some people can do that. Whatever. So yeah, what ranking number is this that's flying me out? Because if I like you enough, the vibe is right. All right, cool. It's lit. I'll throw them at you. It's cool. But if you do something to annoy me through that time,
yeah, anything can change at any minute.
You could do something to annoy me, and I'd be like, nah. Shop's closed.
Yeah,
I'll probably go get my own room too, but
you heard it first.
Just make sure that if you get flown out, you can always fly yourself back regardless of what he does.
Yes.
Suns and what you said, Tiff? What you said? Sands and sunsets, right?
Sand and sunset is not going to put me in a mood. So don't think that. It's totally up to how I feel. And I may feel like initially I felt like I wanted to do it, and then I got down there and I didn't like something about you, and I changed my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Or if the vibe is right, it can go down. But a woman should never feel obligated. But I think that's a conversation that should be had beforehand. And it doesn't have to be so direct, like, so are we fucking or not? It don't have to go down like that, but you can just build up the energy and feel what that is like. Some guys are just so delusional and think that she's talking to me, so that means she on my dick. That's
right.
They think like
look at
that.
Kiki,
and
she's grabbing like, oh God.
Entitlement, like men.
Yeah.
Men really be walking around like they God's gift to earth, and you're not. But y'all do walk around like that, and some of y'all just need to get knocked down just a little bit. Like just knocked down.
I'm saying this though. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Where's the women flying dudes out? Because I'm just saying.
They doing it. I mean, they doing it.
They do.
You enough, but they doing it.
Yeah.
They doing it.
Let me.
Look, JP, don't get yourself in trouble now. We got 8 viewers on here.
Listen.
And one of them's your uncle. And one of them's your uncle. Be careful.
I know my uncle watching. I know he always watching.
Like, don't do it, brother.
But no.
You
know why I'm good? Because my Uncle Kev, that's the cool uncle. He know the vibe. Like, he put me on. What I was gonna say to that point though is that I think he's absolutely right as far as the entitlement is concerned. Mm-hmm. But a lot of that is a byproduct. Real talk, Joe.
Mm-hmm. Don't bring me in, nigga.
There's no game anymore. Ain't nobody got no game. Like JP Protest, fellas, get some game. Mm-hmm. Get some game. Understand how to talk to a woman. Take your time with it. Stop being so thirsty all the time.
I agree.
Sometimes the best game for us women is no game at all.
Thank you. Thank you, Joe. The best game is no game. I say that.
Just be cool.
Be
cool
some
and
bullshit.
be you. Be cool and be you. They either gonna rock with you for it, or they'll let you know this ain't my type of time.
Well, I love Key's answer. Kiki, I appreciate you. Before we get out of here, I want to talk to you about one more thing.
She had something else to say. She had
yes. Oh, go ahead. Finish that. My fault. I know you finished. Go ahead, sis.
Don't be a dickhead either. Like, I always tell people the worst thing somebody can say to you is no. But if it's a no, leave it at that and then just move on.
Yep.
Like, it's when it turns into, oh, you was ugly anyway. I wasn't ugly 2 seconds ago when you was trying to talk to me. Now because I don't want you, I'm ugly. Like, just throw some balls, please. No, because that's when it turns into violence. It turns into disrespect. Mm-hmm. It turns into all these things that it doesn't need to be. Like, women are literally out here dying because some men can't take rejection. It should never, ever get to that point. Like, somebody should not be getting shot in the face because you told a man no because you want to dance with him. What?
Right.
I agree.
This mom of 4 just lost her life because for the same reason. Yeah. The man physically put his hands on her. I don't know the state that she was in, but he grabbed her ass basically, and she turned around and smacked him, and he shot her in the stomach, and she was pronounced dead at the hospital. Young woman, 4 children, and I believe she was with her children at the time. I think this happened yesterday, like sometime real recent.
Now you about to go to jail because you couldn't take no, like a little bitch.
It's crazy.
Well, let's see if he want them to respect no for him when he go to jail.
Right? Like, now they make you they bitch in jail. Like, you why?
Well, we gotta wrap this up. I appreciate Ms. Whittle for coming on, and I want to highlight this before you tell us how we can follow you.
I appreciate you for saying my last name properly.
You say that right? I got that H, that Whittle. I had to get that right. But no, talk to us. Talk to us about the Black excellence and the Black-owned business called the Key Directory, and tell us more about that and about where we can find you and support you more. But tell us about that first before you get out of here.
So it happened because my best friend got married this year, and she wanted a Black bartender, and we could not find Black. We found one, but it was so hard to find a Black bartender up here. So I was like, I mean, I know that there's websites that do this also, but I was like, maybe I should put together a catalog of like the different Black-owned businesses I've stumbled across, kind of thing, and just like put it together so people can access it. I told my friend Gabe that I wanted to do it, and he is a computer scientist, and he was like, well, I'll put it together for you and make a code for you or whatever. So I was like, all right, cool. So we did that, and then originally it was just an Excel sheet with a whole bunch of tabs, and then he turned it into this website. So now it's like a blog / a directory, and I try to use it to highlight a business in some type of STEM program that gears towards minorities. I'm with a really good nonprofit called Letters to a Pre-Scientist, so I put them up there. If anybody knows someone that wants to volunteer with them, we are pen pals with kids that are interested in STEM from grades, I want to say 5 to 12. So basically you just exchange letters back and forth and you get to learn about each other. I have a
that's fire.
Yeah, I have a 5th
I'm gonna tell my daughter.
Like a pen pal, like almost like a pen pal situation.
So you should see if her school is registered with the program and see if that'll get set up. If not, I can put you in contact with the founder.
Okay.
Awesome.
And,
I'll follow you and get that information.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have a 5th grader right now. She's so adorable, and she loves chemicals, sports, dancing, and art. And she wants
Aw.
and she loves animals. So I actually have to write back to her after this. So yeah. So it's
What's her
just-
name? What's her name so we can shout out?
I will not do that.
Nah, I'm playing.
I will not do that for privacy purposes.
But you're right. That's dope what you're doing though. I appreciate you. For
Yeah,
doing
I
that.
love it.
Yeah, that's
She-
dope.
Amazing.
It's amazing. It's really amazing. And I'm trying harder to get more into STEM science communication, like that aspect of it. So yeah, we're working on it.
Well, tell us
That's
where we can
dope.
follow you, sis. Just how can we support the blog, all that? How can we follow you?
The blog's website is theblackbusinesskey.com. You can follow me on Instagram at _major key. You can follow Cognac
Major.
Chem at Cognac and Chem Pod on Instagram, and we're Cognac and Chem on Twitter. And yeah, that's about it.
There it is. Give her flowers now, ladies and gentlemen. Give her that queen her flowers.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Remember this when I win the Nobel Peace Prize. Just remember this interview.
We bringing you back on.
Yes, we will.
Listen,
we will bring you back on.
We need to check in January after Biden getting office and the vaccine. We're going to need to check in about a month. All right?
Yeah, because I'm shooting my shot at Olay right now to be on their float next year for the Thanksgiving parade.
Go ahead, sis.
I don't know if you guys saw the Woman of Color in STEM float, but that thing was beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Yes, so
I saw it on your page.
I shot my shot at them.
Go ahead.
We can talk about it. So if you see me on TV next year, that's why.
That's dope.
Yeah, I wish you nothing but the best, taking the time out to come.
So much,
not only kick it with us, but help educate us more. And I think cleared up some things where I think people do have some concerns about the vaccine. We're not going to solve it all, but I think this is our way of educating each other by bringing on people that know what they're talking about. So I think what you did tonight was powerful, and we're looking forward to having you come back. So one more time, show us some love for Miss Kiara Whittle, y'all. The chemist, the real chemist cooking in the kitchen right now.
Yes.
Show us some love. Thank you, sis.
Keith.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
I'm going to holler at you later, girl. Appreciate you.
Later. She was dope, right? Show us some
She is
love.
dope.
Facebook
Great
Live.
energy. I like her
Great
energy. She reminds me of my African friend Salah. They kind of look alike.
Okay. I dropped her website for you, Tiff. It's in it. It's the blackbusinesskey.com. I even tagged her Facebook page. It's in the chat box. And her Instagram _major key KI. That's the homie. So let me find out. We got a little chemist, a little ace in the hole now. Now that we want to know something, we could just email her. Yo, ask Kiki. Come on, let's take it to the blog.
Look, the beauty of the afterthought is to make sure that we are allowing and putting the dope people on the platform to help spread and raise awareness, information, laughs, good energy, some hard truth, some motivation. That's why we really here, y'all.
And I think
real talk.
It's a perfect segue for as we get ready for my guy. You know, comedy is coming through in a second, in a few minutes. But this brother and I'm gonna give you a little intro. You know, before I got to meet him, you know, there's a lot of power players in New York City, and a lot of times it takes a while for you to kind of find the right niche. You know, we on the same team, UGK of comedy, but before I met him, he was a producer of the Laugh Junkies, working with comedians I've been booking over the years, and really has had his niche in the game before I came around here. So he's an Alabama native. And we are going to be in Kansas City this weekend. I'm leaving tomorrow because I have a gig at the Kansas City Comedy Club with my sis, Janelle Banks. So I'm going to be in Kansas City tomorrow.
When are you going to have her on?
She's coming soon. Let's let her get the album out the way. And I might get on next week. I mean, coming off of that and having her on here will be dope. So I'm hosting her live album recording tomorrow night. That's right. Tomorrow night in Kansas City. I know y'all can't make it, but guess what? They got tickets when they're streaming the entire show. I'm doing 30 minutes to
tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, 7:30. I believe it's probably 6:30 our time because they're an hour behind us. They're an hour in the Midwest. But if you do want to watch it,
that means it'll be 8:30, bro.
It'll be 8.
It's 7:30 their time. It's 8:30 East Coast.
I think no. We're ahead of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if it's 7:30 Central, it's 8:30 Eastern time.
No, it's 7:30. You're right. It is 8:30 our time. You're 100%
Yeah.
right.
Forget it, guys. Let's get him
Either way.
because you can't tell time. You niggas can't tell time.
There's a link for it. I'm gonna post it. And then this weekend, my guy Emerson and us will be at the Legends Comedy Club in Kansas City, and we'll be doing 2 nights, Friday, the 11th and the 12th. So that's that. So we're waiting on him to come on here, and we're gonna find out more about him. But I like this segment, Tiff. I like the Ain't That Some Bullshit.
Ain't that some bullshit?
JP, talk about the pro tip a little bit more. I feel like you have more to tell about the pro tip.
So
yeah, tell us about the JP pro tip. I like that. That's catchy.
Here's the thing about the pro tip. It's a real, honest JP-ism or perspective that I think can be used, or what some would say like a nugget, to help give to our listeners,
a nugget,
whether it's regarding sports, politics, our community, something as far as how we may need to deal with people or deal with situations. Because if we become well-balanced or more aware of things, or if there's something that's like a narrative that may be one way and it's like, nah, that ain't it, I want to try to be able to be like,
that's a fact.
Lock this one in. So I'm gonna tell you this: lock this one in. It's either coming on good authority or good gut feeling. Like, it ain't just something I just took out of thin air to be like, oh, here it goes. Nah, it's based on some real premise. And
I think that pro tip, going back to what we was talking about with the guys being so thirsty, is something we talked about earlier in the episodes, the early episodes. If y'all been following along, dudes just be thirsty. We can bring it back real quick. Like, dudes just, and you would think the pandemic, with the pandemic, but I think it's going to cause dudes to even be more thirsty now in the DMs. And because you can't actually be around a female. Like, you can't really get to see them because what you see is eyes. What you going to say, her eyes is lit? Like, you can't really.
I saw a meme where they said lips is going to be the new boobs. Like, yo, so you see her lips?
The new eyelids, right? The new eyelids.
You see her lips? Because, your mouth is always covered. Like, did you see her lips, though?
Damn,
so that's
baby.
the new cleavage.
I don't know how we're going to be able to do it. I really don't know how it's going to be when it's time to get back out there. And, dibble and dabble. What do you think it's going to be? It's not going to be no right away. Like, don't get me wrong. You go to Atlanta, they're in the bars right now. They're in the lounge.
Listen, let me tell you something. There's people pregnant right now, so ain't shit stopped.
Yeah, nothing. But you had prior dealings with this person. No, you ain't just. If you got pregnant during the pandemic
with someone
new,
yeah.
I mean, we don't know, but I'm just saying.
The gall.
People
gall is what I'm gonna say.
We don't know.
I got to use the 8th grade social study history word.
Yeah.
The gall. The fucking gall.
Joe digging in the thesaurus.
Turning into my Stephen. The gall. How dare you have a baby during the pandemic? You could be pregnant and give birth. But I'm saying, come on, son.
With someone new. Like, if you're pregnant now, because think about it. It's December.
Right.
If you pregnant by someone you didn't know or you wasn't moving with before March, like, if you had a whole real COVID baby, there's going to be quite a few of them out there.
Listen, let me tell you something. People are getting flued out now still. So
speaking of flu, why they spell it like that? Why the fuck? Why is it not spelled like flown out?
It's flued out because the young Miami chick said that on an interview.
On the song, on the City Girls joint.
No, but she said it in an interview. So that shit just went viral.
Smokey Suarez, y'all know Smokey, the OG, couple of Lalas, been on Bad Boys of Comedy, Paper Soldiers. He had a funny bit where he was saying, chicks from the hood, when you really take them to like City Island, they think they they think they in fucking Miami. He goes, I can see these chicks calling their girlfriends now, talking about, girl, this nigga, I took over a bridge in the Bronx, and this bitch talking about, girl, and this nigga got me in Miami. You like, you ain't even go nowhere. We went to the North Bronx, the shore of the Bronx, and you calling your friends like. So I mean, flown out is a culture, but I mean, it ain't tricking if you got it. That's what Lil Wayne says, right?
Who cares what Lil Wayne says?
I'm just saying, if you got it. How
many sugar
daddies?
It's true.
Tiff, how many sugar daddies? We talked about in the chat. How many sugar daddies got a ring of keys and a gold van and waiting to pay for some shit?
I got a couple of dollars. What you trying to do?
A maroon colored van with air freshener out the wazoo, and he's ready to pay a bill, and he might not get no ass.
All he got is $100.
There's older men that are cool with the Chuck chill out. I call it the Chuck chill out. You ain't getting no ass, but he gonna sit cuddled up. He gonna be able to smell you.
Look, let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something about that man. He's a church deacon.
Yes, sir.
He drinks Grand Marnier.
Yes, sir.
He buys all his suits from Portobello on 125th.
He wears turtlenecks on the weekends.
He's on every WBLS boat ride on Thursday.
Oh, he is the man at the off-white parties. He wears no drawers to the all-white parties.
No drawers.
He talk about how he talk about how he was a man in the light quarter in the shadow.
He still hooks.
What kind of cologne he wear? Old Spice?
He wears some shit. Nah, he wear like the Cuban cigar shit. He wear like that heavy. Like, that's that.
Yeah, Versace blue jean. Blue jean.
Oh my God.
But I'm saying it's not talked about in the culture enough that there's older men. I don't know what happened to M, but we're going to keep it. It's all right. Older men, because this is bringing me to another thing. Why is it not a double standard for old men, but not for women?
What's the question?
Like, women will be okay with a man or old man. You won't. I don't got to give him none, but he paying my bills and he's flying me out.
Okay,
he coming in. So I'm saying, but when a chick does it, it's like, oh, she's a thotty. You know what I'm saying? Why can't she just be a sugar mama? You know what I'm saying? Like,
she's called a cougar.
Sugar mamas out here, I think.
Yeah, she's called a cougar, and everybody's proud to be a cougar. Whoever's the cougar. Yeah. She's proud. She ain't got no shame. She too damn grown to give a fuck. And she got too much shit going on in her schedule. Yeah. So you gotta hurry up and come get this ass real quick.
Got the cup. But listen, you know what type of time it is with them, though.
This ass. You gotta get the fuck out. Cause you ain't staying.
Listen.
But you gonna get some good eats. Listen, you gonna get some good loving. And you're gonna get some good eats.
Let me tell you why you need you a good old Ethel, right? Because when you get to the door, Ethel gonna have your Adidas outfit freshly ironed for you. First of all, she gonna say, "Put this on,
creases, motherfucker, with creases."
Grab the crease in the Adidas pants.
In the stripes.
It's 4 stripes now.
Damn. She got your food. She got your food on the entertainment. What you call that? The table. You know when you go to your grandmother's house, they got the table, the fold-out table.
Yeah.
You got your food all set up. After we fuck, you gonna go in there and eat that chicken noodle soup. You like this is something.
Nah.
Yep. And she gonna have your towel and your washcloth at the end of the bed.
Yeah.
Yep.
She ain't doing all that.
Old lady.
Let me say something. You know when it's go time, she start playing that Teddy P.
You talk like you got a story, Jay.
What Key said. When Key closed it when she said that, the entitlement and just, be able to take a no, Don't have this fragile ego where you can't accept no, right? Also, the no, not most of the time, but in some cases, you never know. If you handle that no well, that no might turn into a yes down the line because she might respect you and feel like, oh, he was such a gentleman. You know what I mean?
Wait, does that happen? Women.
Joe.
I'm asking you, Tiff, from your history and your dealings, your prior dealings. We're not talking about now. Have you ever said, at some point in your younger dwelling fine days, when you were finer and you were younger, you in your 20s, you ever gave a guy a chance and you said, yo, you know what? He was a gentleman.
Yeah.
I'm saying you gave him a chance. You gave him a chance, like to talk to you or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because it usually is either I made a decision right off the back, and this is with most women. We make a decision. We know from the first time we lay eyes on you, whether
Free
you
game.
can get it or not. It might, if it happens tomorrow or if it happens in 10 years, don't worry. We made our decision already. You know what I'm saying?
Worry.
So
We be
don't
worried than a
worry.
motherfucker. We be worried.
You know
We be
what I
like, am I gonna
We
get it?
do. We do.
So a woman has made her decision, and like Keith said, you can fuck that up at any given moment. So it's just really on you. You know what I mean? But yeah, a persistent person that don't sweat you, that can respect the friendship, you have more time to build a true, genuine connection with that person. And then you never know. Down the line, it may turn into something because now you both know each other on something real. You taking time to get to know each other. Because now you're friends. You build a friendship.
Is this true, Tiff? And you can probably attest to this because you've been on the spectrum, devil's advocate of the same concept. One of my producers, he's here, Gray. He said, we were having a guy conversation about when we were younger. We were like, it's funny because if we knew what we knew now, just saying, things would have probably went a lot smoother for us in those prior dealings. JP knows what I'm about to say. But like when we're younger, we could have it right in our face. The chick could be giving it to us, like giving us the hints, and we just miss the cues. I mean, we be over here with it. We be talking. We be like, oh God, this is it.
Nah, you might want to see.
I'm talking when you were young. I'm not talking about when you. I'm talking about. So you was knocking them down at 15, JP. You was reeling them in at 15,
bro.
No, first of all 15-year-olds, if they're sexually active, them motherfuckers is hot and they looking for any moment and any
hypertension. All right,
let me be very clear.
Go ahead, Jay.
I was not sexually active then.
Right.
But I'll tell you this much though. When I knew a vibe was a vibe,
oh yeah,
I knew who I like. It ain't have to be much to know that's who my new makeout partner is. That's who I'm kissing in the corner over there. That's who I'm buying the candy for. That's who get the icy.
Candy grams.
And then and then when I had my fake girlfriend, in junior high, I couldn't. Look, let me just say this. I had to learn from young that things cost. So I had to hustle.
Great segue. But go ahead.
I had to hustle.
Go ahead.
I could have split a slice with that joint. She liked Chinese food and mystics. I had to level up.
Yes,
wait, Jay, I gotta interject this.
Types of Chinese
I gotta interject this because we were also saying another good segue. I'm gonna bring it right back to you, Jay. When you're born, you don't really pay for stuff until you're about, on average, we're talking on average. Maybe if you got a cell phone, if you're an early teen, maybe you got a video game you're trying to pay, but a lot of it is expenses from money that you're getting. You don't have no real bills until you get closer to your 18 or maybe 21. But JP just made me crack another thing and bring it back with, that's when you really figure out how to be an adult. You're buying stuff for this girl. And like you said,
not be an adult, but how to
not be an adult, but
how to court.
Courtship. How to take care of yourself, how to factor in numbers like, all right, I gotta go to the movies. I'm paying for her. The movie costs this amount. The soda costs this amount. That's real math. But go ahead, Jay. I know you was saying that too.
No, Joe. You right about that. Because you gotta think about it like this. I joke around with saying, shorty want Chinese food and a mystic instead of a quarter water and a slice.
Right.
Like, or she want McDonald's. Like, I can't, that 2 cheeseburgers for $2.99 was love.
Yeah.
But, I got to be able to afford that. If I'm only getting $20 a week, for example, if my allowance back then was $20 a week, and if I want to sit here and stunt like I'm the man, 8th grade.
Because you want to.
14.
You definitely want to.
You have to. You want to go to the movies, I got to figure out how am I either going to make this $20 last?
Facts.
Or how am I going to flip this money into something else?
Because I know I'm going out.
Going to the stores for people.
I used to do that shit.
Yeah, but you know what my hustle was? I used to actually make cassette tapes. My Uncle Kev watching now. He put me on to everything early. Everything I knew about hip hop, when I was like 4 years old. This man used to be doing security with DJ Hollywood, all these guys. Like, my uncle know him. Like, so he put me on young. He used to have all the tapes, all these things. I hope my mom don't watch it. She watch it well. You know, I used to go to 99-cent store.
Oh, well.
I can't get beat now. You know, you go to 99-cent store. Quick story time with me. And you get 3 packs, like tapes in a pack, like the Fuji or the Maxwell or the TDK
tapes already made. Okay.
So you get the blank cassette tapes. And what I would do is I would record all the songs onto a tape. So everything from the radio, my mom's CD collection, my uncle tapes, my cousin's CD collection, because some of them, you know, had the curses and everything. And then I would record my own mixtape with songs on A side and B side.
You was pressing the A and recorder. You was pressing the double side recorder. Okay.
So now, Joe, Tim, y'all gonna really respect this. Once my tape was complete, I'd pop the tape in on the A side and then put the second blank tape and high speed dub it so it will record everything quicker. And now I got 2 tapes.
Oh, you was Tower Records.
Hustle Man JP. That's a JP.
BIM.
I was on the boom box with the completed tape on the A deck, the record side on the B deck with the blank one. Now I got 2 copies. Give it a day or so because you know you don't want the tape to run too quickly.
Facts.
Then record the 3rd one. And now I got 3 tapes for $1 from the 99-cent store, but I could go and sell a tape to my friends for their Walkmans at $3, $5 a pop. And depending on who it is, I done got $10 to $15 on 3 tapes that I spent $1 for.
Oh, you stunting.
So that was my hustle.
JP had a lot of money in his pocket. Yeah, I'm telling y'all now, podcast.
That was my hustle back then.
Money back then. It's definitely some life lessons that taught us how to get money. And I think when you're in relations and dealings at a young age, you're getting that math work. You're getting that how to court, like Tiff.
Yeah, you are.
Because I was if I was inviting you out, I was paying.
Yeah,
just the natural. Sure. Even when I was, younger, my teens, like, yo, we going out. I'm not asking you. We going out. We going to hang out. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I am. Don't get me now. Don't get me wrong. It's a right to be like, I got it tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like and reciprocate. But for the most of the time, we hanging out. We having a good time. Let's
The movies cost.
Tonight. Well, it wasn't that expensive back then. Now this shit is crazy. I feel sorry.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous now.
It's shut down now, though.
I'm gonna tell you right now. What do you think on average is the best way to, if you want to go out on a date with somebody? If you watch, I know there's people in here that's dating single. I felt like my go-to always back in the day was like, don't get me wrong, the movies was cool, but you can't really talk during the movie theater. You can't really do much, and that's like 2 hours. That's a nice chunk of time for y'all not to be talking. You know what I'm saying? Getting to know somebody. So I feel like, and something like some type of social event is the best way if you're dating somebody or getting to know somebody. Like
I always liked comedy shows.
Yes, because it makes you talk.
It makes you talk.
I think that's
you get to see what type
of
you get to talk, you get to think, you get to relate because comedy, they talk about shit, real life shit. So you get to see what makes this person laugh. They get to see what makes you laugh. You know what I mean? You can feel a person out at a comedy show for real. Because I've been to comedy shows with motherfuckers, whether it's a date or whether it's just a friend, and they don't laugh. And I'm like, oh, never the fuck again. Like, you mad at a comedy show? What the fuck? Never the fuck again.
That is, comedy shows, I think, are the best way to do it now as well, too. Because, you get a couple drinks, you get to see someone, you interact because you guys are next to each other.
Yep.
So you could be like, okay, this person's funny. This person wasn't funny.
That's a fact.
The drinks start loosening you up. You start, in a sense, you can get more comfortable. And it's like an intimate setting without being like too intimate.
Awkward, yeah.
Yeah, and
you
don't
get
feel
to check
awkward.
a nigga's bitch tendencies real quick.
Elaborate on that.
Mad at the comedian for being a comedian. Like, calm the fuck down. Why are you mad? This is what he does. Don't get mad at the comedian for being a comedian.
Yeah.
Like, you paid to hear some jokes. Now, they didn't say who the jokes was gonna be on. It might be on you. Why is it okay for you to laugh at the comedian roasting someone else, but if he roasts you, you want to fight? I can't.
Yeah, you gotta be a good sport.
I can't go with you.
You gotta be a good sport. I love Joe. How do you feel about that? Because when you're doing your thing, one thing I like, and you about to take it to Missouri. You about to go and see people that you never seen, a town you may have never really been in.
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel about like potentially going off, like reacting to what you see? Because you always do that.
Yeah.
But like, how comfortable do you think people may be to talk about them more? Or do you just go and stick with, I know my routine, I know my joints is gonna knock them out the park. Let me just do this and be cool. But if I see something, do I not say something, or do I say something? Because to Tiff's point, do I gotta worry about feelings because I'm somewhere else? It's not like I'm home or I'm in a city where I know, like when you in Atlanta, you know you could be cool.
Right.
When you know you out in the Bay, you cool. LA, you of home is home. Like, you know you good in certain places and spaces.
I will say this. Going for me, this is going on probably like I said, I started hosting and doing comedy in 2008. So I'm approaching that, not 20 years, but I'm like 14, 15. I will say
that's 20 years.
Now, when I go to cities, I would be remiss if I didn't use stuff that I'm seeing coming into your city, shit I'm noticing, and before I get to the stage, I'm paying attention to people at the club. I'm pulling from everything I can to start off with that. You know why? Because before I get into me and who I'm about and telling you my story, I'm going to start off my set. I'm going to do it in Kansas City. I'm going to start off, whoa, it's my first time here. Shit I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of white people. Whatever I'm saying, you're going to get it and you're going to relate to it because 9 times out of 10, you've been seeing it. It's just new to me. Like when I went to Baltimore, so one of the things we were saying, like, I ain't going to front. I said, when I started off, I said, I ain't going to front Baltimore. It's my first time here. And y'all need my payout. Like, I might cash up this to the mail. This shit is looking bad out here. I said, I was driving, then I started seeing abandoned. And I just had to mirror what I see because that's comedy. That's related. And a good comedian. Shout out to Bob Sumner, one of the pioneers and helping so many people, giving them a platform to be seen and heard. He said this one night when I was at one of his shows. He said, there's a difference between a stand-up comic and a comedian. A stand-up comic comes in with a routine. He comes in, like JP said, he want to get you with his routine. He might not even deal with a heckler. He might do a little bit of crowd work. He might just hit you with bam, bam, I'm out of here. But a comedian gets there early, uses everything, he absorbs everything in coming on to that show. And Cat Williams does this. He's one of the best. If you ever watch Cat Williams specials, that first 15, 20 minutes is gold because he's talking about the city he's in. And it's bringing people in like, damn, he fucked with us. He took the time out to say little shit. When I go down south, one of the things that stands out always is the name of the gas stations, the name of the supermarkets, Piggly Wiggly, Food Lion, you know what I'm saying? Like the Wawa, like these some country ass goddamn names. But when you start to hit little shit like that, they fuck with you even more because they're like, oh, he's aware even more. And he went into his set. Now I like this dude even more because he got to tell me about my city and I know about him. So they remember you more. So to answer that question, hell yeah. I think now even more, even with current events, Nate Robinson, I'm going to mention that. How many of y'all seen that motherfucker get knocked out? Like, you didn't even have to watch boxing to know he got knocked the fuck out the other night.
That's true.
Like, it's just certain things. There's no manual. Why shouldn't you use everything at your disposal? It's just like Gilbert Arenas. And this is the last thing before we wrap it up. And we're going to promo. Gilbert Arenas.
What happened to Emerson?
I don't know. And it's all good. He probably.
Maybe he got caught up.
I think he probably did, but he would have texted me or something. But it's all love. We're gonna be on the road. We might come on here and do something on the road to do extra. But
on the road again.
Gilbert Arenas, a point guard, one of the baddest guards in NBA history, for just being an assassin. And he made a point about James Harden. James Harden, and y'all know he plays for the Houston Rockets currently. There's a whole thing with him being traded. And how James Harden plays, if you know basketball, he creates the contact. And if you know basketball, he's causing contact a lot, and people call, he's cheating because he's bumping into me. That should be a foul on him. But Gilbert Arenas says something that made me just kind of rethink how we view James Harden. That's a skill. To be able to say, if my speed is going this way, if I just slow down a little bit, he's going to bump into me and I can shoot, and that's a foul. That is a skill. That's not a cheat code, because that's just his way of like, hold on. If your leverage is bringing you this way and I just lean back, of course I'm going to get the foul. And I might get a 3 out of it. So he's mastered the skill of contact in the NBA. And that, on top of the how I step with the ball, the Euro step, it's almost like a new version of a player we've never really seen. Like, create contact. And it's like I can't guard him because I can't touch him. Almost like Mayweather. You can't even touch this motherfucker, let alone score points. He's mastered the art of not even being really hurt. So how do you beat this dude? So it's like, these are skills and things that I think we got to pay more respect to and homage, like a James Harden and Mayweather. Y'all see Mayweather getting ready to fight the white boy. You seen that, Tiff? He about to fight the dude that that knocked out. You gonna watch it?
Yes.
I want to watch it too. I'm kind of
brother.
Yeah, he gonna fight.
I'm not wasting my money.
Come to my crib. I'll stream it for free, motherfucker.
go live, motherfucker.
That's fine.
I could, but I don't want to get no piracy charges unless we do a Zoom.
No, somebody went live.
Yo, I ain't going live.
Yo!
And he was asking for $5 donations, man. He had like 300 viewers. You better go live.
Yo, they were cutting people lives off.
They ain't cut
on this past Saturday
off.
For the
Well, think about it. So I ain't gonna say this because I don't want to get hotboxed right now. I have a link that I watch a lot of stuff on. People know me that know me.
Say less, Joe.
But I'm gonna say this.
Say less.
There's a way for you to bypass.
Say less, Joe.
But yes, on that note,
send me the link.
I thank y'all for tuning in. Each and every week, not just tonight. Tonight was dope. We had Miss Kiara Whittle on here, a chemist. She's an advocate. She's got a dope podcast out, and she's got a dope vlog coming out. So make sure y'all follow her. More importantly, continue to support the Afterthought Podcast. We're gonna get Gerald Kelly and Emerson back on here. It's all love. We're gonna get them back, and we got other guests. So we got new segments coming up. So most importantly, tell them where to find y'all. Ladies first. Go ahead, Tiff. Tell them what you got, how to find you. You know the vibe.
All right. You can catch me in the morning tomorrow at 7 a.m. from 7 to 10 on WYWM radio for all your R&B, hip hop beats, songs from the 80s and 90s. So it's our vibe is real chill. And you can catch me on Facebook, Tiff Tonto. And whenever JP, engineer or produce, whatever the hell you got to do with my IG, you're gonna catch me on whenever JP get on there. And
you might have to do a segment with the spinoff of this. Ain't that some bullshit takeover on IG where people come in and talk to you about bullshit. It's almost like confessions. Like you get, maybe people could wait a minute. People could email you stories about some bullshit, and you can read it.
We can talk about that, and we can do that. Live it, right? Is that how you say it? Live it,
Yes, Live It is a dope platform. We streaming right now. It's the future of this, and it's allowing artists like ourselves to be seen, heard, and paid. That's right, and paid. So you see me with anything, Live It. But I think y'all both can definitely get on there in some capacity and do what y'all doing, and just bring it overlap what we doing. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's what it is. Tell them where to find you, Jay.
At JPC, the number 2 KLUB. That's on the Twitter. That's on the gram. I want to say during this holiday season, I know it's been a little difficult, but if you still have something or have the ability to maybe give back a little bit, I want to give 2 shout outs real quickly. if you're in the New York City area, all 5 boroughs, Long Island, especially uptown, I want to give a shout out to my church's Helping Hands Department. Shout out to Ephesus Church. We are going to still, while we can't give food out, because of COVID restrictions, we are still accepting like toys, books, prepackaged things. So message me if you want to make sure you can make a contribution there. Shout out to my young boys in Kappa Chi. If you're in the DMV area, they are supporting Black businesses only. A toy drive where we're only purchasing from Black businesses to then give back to the Statesman School. Shout to Principal Rick Craig. Shout to the old good brothers. But we're going to make sure we give back to over 180 kids in the DC area.
That's right.
So if you need any information about where you want to be able to give back during this holiday season, slide in my DMs, hit me on the messenger, and I could give you and point you in the right directions, whatever you feel is on your heart to give, because we need to help give.
That's a
Let
fact.
me know.
You heard him. That's a fact.
Oh, I have something dope, and I'm going to have more information for everybody next show. I have a friend that I grew up with. They started, 2 gentlemen, they started their own toilet tissue line.
Hey,
Black-owned toilet tissue, okay?
We need that.
So yeah, I said.
Shout out to the ladies.
They right out in Harlem. So
shout out to the ladies holding their household down, and know they care about your ass when they buying family packs of tissue. See what I did with that?
Yes.
They care about your ass.
So I am gonna have that information next show, so that everybody can, go get some toilet tissue, Black-owned toilet tissue.
Yes.
I wanna. I got a lot of stuff going on. We know that, but I'm just a regular dude trying to get these coins. I want to let y'all know that I got something powerful coming up. I dropped 2 projects earlier this pandemic, one in April. And pretty much what I'm getting at is let me get it first. Let me get it out. Let me get it going. So I want you to see it so you could be right here. So here we go. Come on. There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh.
That's right. If you're looking at the screen right now.
Jingles, jokes, and hoes.
That's right, baby. Jingles, jokes, and hoes. This is
need a t-shirt that says jingle, jokes, and hoes.
Yo, I want this picture on a t-shirt. Like, this is what I need on a t-shirt.
I need that t-shirt. Jingles, jokes, and hoes.
If you can see
that t-shirt right there.
If you see
you need Christmas stockings with this picture on it.
Right here. This is
Jingles, jokes, and hoes.
Yes, this is my next project coming out. Everybody on Facebook. It's a comedy mixtape. If I could kind of give you a little taste of it, it's kind of like, back in the day with the Beastie Boys in the early Adam Sandler days of telling jokes and, some skits and voiceovers and maybe some pranks in there. So it's the holiday season. This will be dropping on Christmas Day. So after you fuck up the living room, after you fuck that living room up and you got to clean up, put this on. It'll be streaming everywhere on every platform for you to laugh. It's a small little mixtape, we looking at possibly like 10 tracks, but it's enough to get you through the holidays, through the pandemic. And so that is that. So shout out to everybody that tuned in, the Afterthought Podcast. I'm your man, Joe Hill. If you want to support the show, email us at the Afterthought Podcast at Gmail. And we'll let you know. We got some sponsorship packages, or we can cater a package. If you know a business that wants to support us, we'll shout you out. We were flirting with probably doing like a little $20 shout out. You know what I'm saying? Where it comes with a little package. We shout you out every week and we do our mention on social media. So we got different packages for you to support the show and support the endeavors. We're trying to take this on the road. Soon as things open up, the Afterthought Podcast will be a pre-show for a lot of my comedy shows that I'm going to be doing in different cities. So help us get there because you need money. You need money to travel. You need money to take this show, upscale it. You know what I'm saying? We want to give out some prizes. We want to do raffles. We want to do a whole bunch of shit. So we need your help and we need the community. So if you know any businesses that are in the tri-state area or out of state, it doesn't really matter because we're going to be moving around and we want to bring this show to different cities and different communities. So if you want to sponsor the show, hit us up at the Afterthought Podcast on social media. Email us, reach out to JP, reach out to Tiff or myself, and we'll get you in there. So thank y'all for tuning in. I will see y'all next week at some point. We will let y'all know if we're doing an Instagram takeover or if we'll be back next Wednesday. But y'all will know. Y'all be watching. Y'all be supporting. So we're gonna let y'all know. So JP, Tiff, I appreciate it.
Safe travels, Joe.
Love y'all. I'm gonna be on the phone with y'all. I'm gonna be FaceTiming y'all and all that, letting y'all know. You know.
Yeah.
And with that being said, thank y'all, man. Afterthought Podcast, your man Joe Hill, Tiff, and JP. We'll see y'all later. Peace.